was attached to the brief. If not, we sent out some discovery requests to Mr. DePerno yesterday related to this report that we require for the purpose of defending the secretary against the allegations that Mr. DePerno has made both publicly and in this motion. They're not particularly complicated discovery requests. We asked initially actually for the names of the individuals who are involved in the report. Mr. DePerno has, as of this morning, I think provided them, but we would like that in the form of a discovery response. We've also asked for copies of everything that the investigative routine obtained from the exam and used in the course of preparing this report. And we had 2 requests to admit related to Mr. Bailey's not residing in Central Lake Township or Village. Those aren't particularly burdensome requests, and since they are necessary for us to respond to this preliminary report that will now be made public, we would ask that the court direct Mr. DePerno to respond to those requests by Friday at the end of the week.
All right. Mr. Chasm, are there any issues with regard to my order?
No, Your Honor. The county does not have any issues regarding your order.
All right. Thank you. Let's go ahead and go back to Mr. DePerno as to the discovery that was submitted with the materials from the Secretary of State. The court did have a chance to review those materials. Are you able to respond to those materials by Friday? Again, I would note for the parties that we have a scheduling conference set for tomorrow. I propose that we take a few minutes and conduct that after this hearing is conducted so that you're free tomorrow. Mr. DePerno, with regard to the request made by Mr. Grill.
Well, his discovery is procedurally premature prior to the scheduling hearing under 1.109. But aside from that, I suppose I could respond by Friday if he agrees that when I send him discovery today, that he would also respond by Friday, and that we do that mutually amongst the parties, and that I would expect by this evening to file our cross-claim against the Secretary of State as well.
All right. In that case, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We will institute a 7-day response period for discovery, absent agreement of the parties or absent a specific request with regard to discovery that is provided. Again, I've advised the parties that we're going to be moving aggressively on this case. It's an injunctive case, and as a result, we have a 6-month period of time in which to handle this by the court rules. But I would like this, given the importance of it to the operation of elections here in Antrim County, I'd like this to be handled more quickly than that. So we're going to go ahead and institute for all discovery a 7-day response period. Obviously, depositions would be handled separately. And what that means is that we'll expect Mr. DePerno to respond by Monday of next week. Similarly, Mr. Grill, should there be discovery filed by the plaintiff or by Mr. Chasm, the secretary would be required to respond within 7 days as well. Are there any other issues with regard to the order this morning?
Yes. Are you saying that we cannot release the report until an order is signed this morning?
I'm going to go ahead and allow release of the order. I'm sorry. I'm going to allow release of the report or any other matters that I've discussed this morning. I'm going to assume that the parties will be able to get an order in today.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Just to clarify, Your Honor, I'm not sure did the court rule on the request that we see the redacted version before Mr. DePerno distributes it?
Exactly. We do need to make sure that there is agreement with regard to the redacted version. Once that's done, then the parties may distribute any materials that they wish to distribute in this case. All right. With that, let's go ahead and talk very briefly about scheduling. What I'd like to do is go ahead and set a couple of dates, and then my staff will issue an order. I know that they are watching now, so they will take these dates down. We'll go ahead and require experts and witness exhibit lists to be provided by 12/24 of 20. That's 10 days from now. I'm going to set discovery for a 2-month period, which would mean that discovery will close on 2/8 of 21. Any dispositive motions will need to be filed by 2/22/20, and we will plan on a trial sometime in April. What we will do is submit an order to the parties with these dates on them